Good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you know, the situation in South Africa is just becoming ridiculous. We know that the ANC have totally screwed up the economy. They're totally screwing up the whole commercial sector. And now they're putting our lives at risk. And we're talking about tourists, people who come to South Africa, unfortunately, on a South African Airways plane, which is like, loading a gun with one chamber filled and pulling the trigger and hoping you get there. That's how bad it's become with South African Airways. Don't believe me? Let me tell you some more. But before I do, I got an email from a fellow, I'll just call him C, okay? And he says, I'm a 50-year-old with no job. I was replaced by a black man, as an inspector in Richards Bay. We are at desperate doors and will not have a place to stay after next month. What is the best way to commit political asylum? Which country is the best one to go to? I'm a qualified aircraft mechanic. Can you give me some tips, please? You get that? He's a qualified aircraft mechanic. But because of BEE and the skin color, he's out of a job. Now, why is this so relevant to what I'm talking about? Let me tell you. This is quite extraordinary. This is how dangerous it is to come to South Africa. And this covers just about every aspect of life in South Africa. It is absolutely ridiculous. South African Airways are at the center of a controversy regarding the training of their flight inspectors. All BEE compliant. Okay, I have to say no more than that. The officials who are in charge of evaluating the condition of each plane in the fleet are alleged to be dangerously underqualified. Get that? Dangerously underqualified and lacking in the necessary experience the role demands. Now, you consider C's position. He's a qualified aircraft mechanic and he's out of work. And what you've got in South African Airways now are underqualified people because of the skin color. The Sunday Times report that the South African Civil Aviation Authority have had to step in, and they're insisting that at least 2 of the inspectors receive further training. A new batch of Airbus A350s are being introduced to South African Airways Johannesburg to New York route, prompting intervention from above. A report filed by the Civil Aviation Authority claims that the 2 investigators have a limited operational experience. But guess what? Their skin color is, where are we? That color. So they get the job. Nothing to do with competency. The pair are alleged to be novices in relative terms. One of them has never actually flown a plane before, whereas the other has only logged 102 hours as a pilot in command. Pilots and senior officials from South African Airways who spoke to the publication have claimed that the training procedures are irregular at the airline, with one source saying it was powerless to train these employees on the A350 planes, comparing it to a nurse giving a brain surgeon their advice in a delicate medical procedure. Still want to fly South African Airways? Not so much. South African Airways said it was aligned with the SAA on what needs to be done and will see this initiative through. The latest issue slots into a catalogue of errors that has blighted the airline over the years, as well as needing regular bailouts and loans just to keep their staff on the payroll. Boardroom chaos has held the firm back. And you know why this is all happening? Incompetency, corruption, and racist policies like BEE and BBBEE. This is the hallmark of ANC governance. It's a complete disgrace at every level, from Ramaphosa, hippo-eyes at the top, all the way down to the junior cadres, the connected cadres, who might be involved in giving out tenders, and of course the kickbacks come in and all the other sort of shit that's involved. This is the absolutely disgusting disgusting situation South Africa is in right now. Former CEO Vuyi Jarana resigned earlier in the year, saying that he had no faith in the direction of the state-owned airline. There was not so much as a report in terms of stability then, and earlier this week, South African Airways were given another cash injection of 5.5 billion rand. But don't get your hopes up. This latest investment isn't enough to keep the wolves at bay. The airline has already indicated that they will need a further 2 billion rand by December as their debt soars past the 17 billion rand mark. The firm is said to be seeking another 10 billion next year to complete their turnaround plan. Why do they need a turnaround plan? I mean, this is just absolutely crazy. It used to be such a profitable airline. And there's a very simple answer to what I'm saying. And it comes back to what C wrote. Okay? I'm a 50-year-old with no job. I was replaced by a black man as an inspector for Richards Bay. We are desperate as we have no place to stay after next month. What's the best way to commit political asylum? Which country is the best one to go to? I am a qualified aircraft mechanic. Can you give me some tips, please? This is the reality of South Africa today. Now, if anyone who's a subscriber here can help this guy, please send me an email. I will put my email address down below and I will put you in direct contact with C. Okay? Because this is absolutely disgusting. And there must be a huge demand for qualified aircraft mechanics around the world. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video and above all, stay safe. Bye for now.